Hi, Chris. Congratulations.
Oh, Scott.
I've actually got two for you. First off, we could hear you guys in the locker room in here. Can you talk about what this triumph means to this team and what it says?
Well, it's huge for our club, the Colorado Rapids. Porig Smith, who's really built something special here, and I'm grateful that I'm part of this and leading these boys. But it's huge for our club. Our supporters at a watch party back home. I just saw some video, the NVR bar, going crazy. So for our fans, for our club, the people who work hard to make it possible on the inside. And I was a player once, a long time ago, and it's rare. I think it's rare that you get to be part of groups that are really team first, all about the team, that run for each other, suffer together. They win together, they lose together, but they are together. And I try to remind them that is rare, and you got to keep fighting for it and lifetime appreciate it. So, yeah, what you heard is joy, pure joy, that only football and sport can do for you. But yeah, we want to keep this ride going.
America had a lot of the ball. They had a lot of the territory, spent a lot of time around and in your box. Can you talk about the way you guys defended today?
Yeah, look, we knew we would have to suffer without the ball. And we knew that we could actually use the ball ourselves. They're really not a high-pressing team. They would let us have the ball. And you could even hear it in the first half. We're moving the ball, 20, 30 passes. We could have done more of that. That's a talented roster, right, that we're playing against. One of the best teams historically in Mexico. And we knew we would have to suffer. So we had a game plan that tried to limit their sixes on the ball, right? Dos Santos, we knew this. Fidalgo, we knew that this would be difficult. So we tried to take away those spaces. We changed our structure defensively in a more of a 4-1-4-1, which would also, they have wingers that are very, very dangerous. Brian Rodriguez, we know this. So the 4-1-4-1 would also help in the wide areas with the wingers. So we had a different type of press, and I think we only gave up 4 shots on goal in 90 minutes against that team. So again, we beat a really good team. We had to be at our best, and if we were a little bit sharper in transition, we might have nicked one there. But proud of the boys.
Hipólito.
Hi, Coach. 2 questions. First, you are in semifinals and beating 3 Mexican teams in a row, right? And as you said, once you were a player, and actually you started the MLS in Los Angeles, which is no extent for you, this city. What that represents for you?
Listen, I played many games against the Mexican national team when I was a player, and many times against Cuauhtemoc Blanco. He was my teammate then in Chicago. And I think one of the reasons we did okay in those games, we had so much respect for the Mexican players, for the Mexican coaches, the culture of football. And I always felt like that gave us an edge, that we knew we couldn't slip. We couldn't, on those days, we'd have to be at our best against Mexico. So nowadays, yes, there's MLS. We're getting better, I think. And the Mexican teams, if we had to play these games in Mexico, I think it's a different story in a lot of these games. But yes, we beat 4 Mexican teams in a row. León, Juárez, Toluca, and now América. So I'm not sure if it's ever been done before, maybe, but I mean, it's tremendous for our group. But yes, I have so much respect for, listen, it's talent. They're so well coached, even the last game with Toluca. As a coach, sometimes you're not sure what to do because it feels like the poor man's blanket. Your head's cold and you pull the blanket and your feet are cold. It's everything you try. But tonight I think we had a good plan. And I'm glad the boys brought it to life.
We're going to go with Michael.
Hi, Chris. Good evening. What do you think about Zach Steffen's performance, and what is your opinion about your next opponent, LAFC, in the semifinals? Thank you.
Yeah. Look, first, we're excited that we're moving on in the tournament and have another game. We earned another match. LAFC in their building. Another difficult game, but we'll get ready for that. And Zach Steffen, you know, some people that might be listening in the media, especially back home, they know that, you know, at one point there was a lot of critics out there about Zach Steffen. And what I've gotten to see on the inside of our locker room on the pitch is a professional, top talent. He's a real man on the pitch. He's a leader, leads by example. He's everything we want the Colorado Rapids to be about. Quality, aggressive, you know, humble, very humble person. So, yeah, look, he's been there all year for us. And now on a big stage, he gets to show his quality. A couple of really big saves, crosses, just showing up on the night. Really good distribution into the wide areas. And then, of course, in the penalties, he guessed right on a lot of them. You know, and one unfortunate comes to the post and hits him. But he's been so important for us. I said initially the biggest off-season signing for us, you know, and him and Mihalovic, these guys. So, yeah, another day in the office for Zach Steffen, let me tell you. He's been great for us. And then he scores, you know, down the middle, so tremendous.
Usually, Coach, again, in the penalty kicks, the keeper is the last player to execute a penalty kick. But tonight, how do you guys decide? I mean, he was not the last one.
Yeah, we had an order beforehand based on what we do in training, based on where players' comfort level. And towards the end, when you get to, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know, it starts getting who wants the penalty type of thing. You know, it was between him and Lalas, and I'm not sure out there which guy wanted it. It was going to be whichever guy wanted it at that point. And that's really, as a coach, you say, okay, who feels a little more confident to step up? And Zach, you know, proved another thing he can do, score penalties. So, yeah. We leave it to the player in that instance. Zach, you could see he wasn't even sure because his head was down, and then the fans are making noise, and he walked over and took it. So.
Sorry.
It looks like that is concentrated the keeper, America's goalkeeper.
Listen, it's crazy. Listen, it's such a, you know, you feel the first person I went over to was the coach after. It's difficult to lose a game like this. It can go either way. It's, you know, you feel for those guys. You know, it's such a good team, but yeah, it's someone has to win. So I'm happy that we move on.
We're going to go to our last two questions on Zoom. We're going to go with Matt Pollard. Matt, go ahead.
Hey, Chris, Matt Pollard, Burgundy Wave. Good to see you. Congratulations. Talk to me about what you saw defensively. You know, we've talked about Zach Steffen, but another game where there's a lot of big moments for your defenders to do work, in particular Keegan Rosenberry. Your thoughts on bending without breaking? Thank you.
Yeah, Matt, it was going to be that effort where we would have to take pressure, and what we work on a lot in training is defending in a low block. We want to be a high-pressing team and defend out of the mid-block. We don't want to spend time in the low block. However, in these games against teams like Club América, like, they're so good in possession. They can move you around. They're very patient. They're the number one possession team in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So we have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And the way we do that is we have principles of play in the defensive third. So there's clarity. So in these emergency situations, guys know their roles. And of course, there's moments they have to trust instinct, but we try to remove that a lot of times and just create clarity, what each player has to do. So yes, Keegan Rosenberry makes a lot of big plays. The fullbacks were making plays. But if we're honest, it's Rafa Navajo, Georgi Mihalovic. Everyone was in on it. So this is what it was going to take, a team effort, and then Zach Steffen being the last line of defense.
And the last question's for Braden Nurse. Go ahead, Braden.
Hey, Chris, thanks for the time. Congrats on the win. Kind of a similar question. You know, multiple guys in the past week have talked about being able to suffer and still come out of these games on top. I'm curious, where did that mentality kind of originate, and how great has it been for the team to seriously embody that during Leagues Cup?
Well, listen, you know, you got to look at that roster. You give credit to their moms and dads. You know what I mean? It's in the DNA. There's a lot of winners in there that, you know, I think we have a nice group. And I said it to start the press conference, you know, Porrig Smith has carefully put together a roster that I think is built for moments like this. And Now, in my first day on the job, I tried to talk about two things. One was that we're going to be a team first, and that we were going to be the team that attacks. Now, tonight, we had to find different ways to attack, but we want to play proactive football and be on the front foot. This is what we want to do here. And then every day, it's about an environment that allows these players to play free and with courage and to not be scared of these moments. And playing a game in LA against America with all their fans. This is what, for me, it's if I can help build these guys up, this is the role of a coach. So, and then to see players step up in penalties, I know how they're feeling. I know how I was feeling in those moments. I wasn't feeling great, so listen, they're winners, and that was a winning behaviors. But we've done this from day one to try to create this environment that they can be free and build for moments like this. They're not afraid. They're not afraid to fail. So tonight was a great example of that.
Thank you very much, Coach, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.